Hello, you're welcome. You're welcome onto my channel today, and it gives me great joy to observe you are viewing this video. I'm Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I'm a lecturer in the university. I'm a migration expert. And on this channel, I do a number of stuffs, but all the stuffs I do on this channel, you can easily cluster them into four. And a major one among them is migration. Meanwhile, are you subscribed onto this channel? If not, kindly go ahead and tap the subscribe button on your screen right now. Click the subscribe button on your screen right now to subscribe to the channel. The title of this video today that you're viewing is Challenges of Moving Abroad at ages 40s or 50s. I've always been saying in my videos on migration that age is very important when people move abroad, but the best times to move are at younger ages. But increasingly, as people move abroad for different reasons, people at older ages are moving. But in this video, I want to highlight some of those challenges that people who move at ages 40s or 50s or above will certainly face. And I'm saying this on account of my experiences, researches, and counseling. I have a lot of mentees across the world, and I move around the world as regularly as possible. And I've seen this, and I want to share this. Many people get abroad before they understand some of these issues, and it's too late usually. And many of them fall into dangerous situations abroad, and many of them have different regrets. Many of them have different positives anyway. So I'm not saying don't move abroad at these ages, but I'm saying you have to be aware that if you travel at 40s or 50s or above that, you face some peculiar challenges, and you must be prepared for these challenges so that you don't just find yourself in the situations and you continue to be trapped in the system or to have a lot of issues confronting you. What are these challenges? Number one challenge that is very fundamental is difficulty in finding good career jobs. Difficulty in finding good career jobs. Usually the best paying job, most people that move abroad, many of them are economic migrants. So the essence of moving sometimes is to change career, sometimes to make money through working in organized career, especially those ones that left good careers behind. So many want to go abroad and get career path job. Even if they start with many jobs, they want to eventually stabilize and work in good career jobs. But if you are 40s or 50s, if you are not in uniquely niche area, niche area where there are, labor scarcities, it may be very difficult. I'm not saying all everybody, but most people at that age find it very difficult to get good career path job, because people abroad usually in developed countries retire early. So even at these 40s or 50s or 60s, many of them are already retiring. So they don't expect somebody at 50s or 60s who should be in management positions to now be coming to join the workforce, at that point in time. And in terms of contributory pension, such individual will not be able to contribute so much to the pension scheme before they retire. So difficulty in finding good jobs. So if you want to move, or people want to move at 40s or 50s or higher, you need to let them know that it's usually more difficult to find good job at that point in time. Then at that number two, another difficulty is that at that age, aging is already setting in. So ability to cope with stress or strenuous situation, is already diminished. So most people at this, they find it difficult, extremely difficult to cope with stressful environment, which usually they will encounter abroad, especially as they struggle to survive, to work abroad. Many people juggle 2, 3, 4 jobs to be able to get by. So people at these 50s or higher find it extremely difficult to cope in this instance. So it may be important for anybody that wants to move at these later ages to factor capacity to cope with stress with my point number one to the equation. And this is very important. Another one is difficulty in finding friends, productive friends. At this time, people abroad are already thinking of establishing network for retirement. But at the age 40s or 50s, people that are just moving will likely find it difficult to, especially if they want to start new life. Because at that point in time, at this age, people are already looking at them as old men, old women. So finding productive friends or networks that are not retirement friends, because some of people who move abroad at this level are not going abroad to retire. They still want to go and work. So getting friends that are already looking at them as grandpas or grandmas or old men, or even at work, many are referred to as papa, mama, abroad, at that point, because the people abroad are seen, they start life early abroad. At 18, they have started life. So at 40s, 50s, they're already considering those people at those age as elderly people or older citizens, regardless of what you want to call it. So finding friends may be a bit difficult, if not retirement friends, essentially. And this is very important. Then another challenge is health issue, aging issue. At 40s or more, many of these people are already having aging situation, health situations. Some are already dealing with diabetes, some are already dealing with high blood pressure, comorbidities. So, and these employers consider this, and this can also limit the level at which this kind of people can struggle overseas. So, people moving abroad at this age have to consider the health implication of all their struggles or survival struggles abroad, and this is very important. Another challenge is that people at this age tend to be averse to risk. And moving abroad is a risky venture. A lot of things people abroad want to get involved in tend to be very risky, essentially speaking. So people at this age tend to be averse to risk, and this is a major challenge, ability to take risk on the go. Another one is that people like this, people at this age 40s or 50s or more, tend to have excess commitment. Many of them have commitment that put them under pressure. So much responsibility. For example, many of them certainly will have been married. Many of them have children. They have wives. Some of them might even have grandchildren. Many of them have people depending on them, So when they go abroad, the challenge of quickly making money and being responsible for the responsibilities that they left at home is a major issue. Or like somebody traveling at 18, 20, or less than 30, they can take risks, they can still get jobs, they don't have so much commitment. People depending on them. But people at these later ages, 40s, 50s or more, tend to have immense responsibility that continue to put them under pressure. And this is a major issue that take a toll on them. And people at this age also, they have aversion to risk, like I've said, and many of them have generational lag. Many of them find it difficult to cope easily, because where they will be finding themselves in terms of work cycle will be people of younger generation. And these people at 40s or 50s are already older generation. Ability to integrate, culturally speaking, integrate socially speaking, integrate economically speaking, becomes very difficult. So some of them feel a lot of culture shock or feel exterminated or removed from the fabric of society they still want to operate. So it's a lot of mental issue and social issue for them in that for generational disconnection. And this is a very serious issue. And many of them are not qualified for many visas. For example, visa limitations, are attached to this kind of age categories, because some visas are for younger people. For example, there are some work permits, there are some employment, permits that they want to get. A lot of visa issues, but I don't want to mention too many here, not to discourage anybody. I'm not to discourage anyone here, but to provide information and build capacity so people can make more informed decisions. For example, some work visas may not be given to somebody over 50, over 40, because they think this work is not for somebody your age, and they'll be refused such visas and even work permits and the rest of them. And too many pressures on this kind of people. Then a lot of them experience loneliness, like because they are not able to make new friends that they desire. Sometimes they find themselves alone, and because of the cultural disconnection, generational disconnection that I mentioned earlier, so it can make them to be very lonely. And many of them at their age overseas are already retired. They are already joining retired people group, but they're not abroad to retire. They still abroad to come and work and make money. So when they want to work, their age mates are not so many there. So they feel excluded, culturally excluded, and this can have a lot of loneliness implications for them and mental health issue. There's also the issue of anxiety and uncertainty along this group because of this so much challenges they face, and many of them think, can they survive, can they cope, can they achieve their dreams at this ages, and once they are abroad they feel anxious and uncertain about what the future holds because they don't have so much time to hustle anymore, so not so much time to work anymore on the account of age and health condition and physical condition compared to somebody in the early 20s or early 30s. So this comes with a lot of uncertainty. How long do they have to work before they grow too old? How, to what extent can they fulfill their ambition for traveling in the first instance? A lot of uncertainty and anxiety comes with moving at these mature ages of 40s and 50s. So, and this is understood. Sometimes I talk to people, I deal with people within this bracket, and this comes clear, flying at somebody's faces. There's also, there's also this anxiety comes with also difficulty starting all over again, because people moving abroad has to do with starting all over again, because it doesn't matter your position, where you're coming from, it doesn't matter your class, it doesn't matter your career level, it doesn't matter your level of exposure or education. Going abroad usually comes with starting all over again. That's the unfortunate truth. And because it's a new environment, sometimes you need new certifications, sometimes you need to bring new friends, sometimes you need to get new jobs, sometimes you have to get new apartment to understand the culture and the rest of it. So it's all about starting all over again. So it's easier for younger ones to start all over again, but at 40s or 50s, starting all over again can be very difficult in another country. So this is people have to know that going abroad is about starting all over again. It doesn't matter the level at which you move. It's very important to know that it's starting all over again, and it's difficult at this age 40s or 50s. So it's a major challenge moving abroad at this age. It's not that it's not possible. I'm not discouraging anyone, but understand these challenges, tell others, share with others, so that they can prepare for it. Till I see you in my next video, kindly subscribe to this channel and share as widely as possible. Tap subscribe. Bye for now.